couple more weeks, we could have made it as a field promotion for him. But I don't know if you wanted to get promoted out in Alpena or not. I don't want to spend as much time there as possible, right? It's actually a great honor for me to be able to introduce Lieutenant Havco and to be able to officiate over his promotion ceremony and to have him here, of course, for mine. I usually don't write down too many notes, but actually, because of the amount of things that this second lieutenant has accomplished, I thought it appropriate that I write down a few notes just so I don't leave anything out. I will tell you this, Andrew is a graduate of the Air Force Academy, and if you think that's impressive enough, his major was in physics. You know, not one to be a glutton for punishment, I guess, but he actually weathered that and came out ahead and graduated with military honors too. So that was pretty impressive. Now, if you're thinking that's impressive, I've only begun. He did a quick touch and go in ops, and we were fortunate enough to be able to get him into the logistics readiness community. And I specifically am very happy with that because he's been doing such a great job for the logistics readiness squadron. I got to tell you more about it. But I got to ask you all first, too, out of the field grade officers here in the audience, take a good look. Is that a model officer? How many of you field grade officers out there remember what it was like to be a motivated, hoorah, second lieutenant like this? And, you know, maybe Buck Walker, I don't want to put you on the spot. I will tell you that when Andrew got to the squadron, he impressed me since the very first day he got here. He is our unit fitness program manager. He was also involved in Habitat for Humanity in downtown Charleston. On top of that, he was the MSG point of contact for the Combined Federal Campaign, and he actually led the CFC kickoff for the wing and started that. And he was lauded by the wing commander on top of it. To go on there, he was the wing project officer for the kickball tournament that we had, which was the Commander's Challenge, and the list goes on. Every time I turn around and I say, well, who's working that project, Lieutenant Havco's name comes up. Let me say a few more here. He also ran our squadron tax office. He was an air show volunteer. He led our squadron retreat, which was lauded by our Mission Support Group Commander Colonel Jones as one of the best ever, best seen. And it was awesome. I was out there to witness that, and he really represented our unit in the Air Force in top honors. We had training that we needed to get accomplished to prepare us for our operational readiness inspection and for the flyaway exercise that was upon us. And Lieutenant Havco volunteered to go out to Bolt Field and actually spearhead that and get some additional training and intel on what to expect when we made it out there to Alpena. I was very happy to see that, and he came back with some great bits of information to make sure that we were going to succeed out there. Wingman Day Rep, Havco. Alpena Site Survey Rep, Havco. Senator DeMint's AMCA 5 visit, Lieutenant Havco on the scene. Emergency management training, Log 99, and emergency response training, Lieutenant Havco jumped up and took responsibility and ran with that. He worked with some other officers here in our squadron on making sure that those programs were going to happen and going to succeed. But I will tell you this, since the day he has arrived here in the unit, it's been my pleasure to be able to work with him. And you know, to Andrew's family, I just want to tell you one thing. When I tell you either that I'm proud of you or that you're a straight shooter, those are one of the two compliments I think that I can give you that mean a lot to me, and you can, no kidding, take it to the bank that there's a lot behind that. And I want to tell you this, Mr. and Mrs. Havco, I am very proud of your son right here. And it brings a lot of pride to say that we can pin him on to the rank and watch him progress to the rank of first lieutenant here, in not only logistics, but as he furthers his way to the United States Air Force. Andrew, I'm very proud of you. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would really like to ask you to stand while we publish the order.
The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities in Second Lieutenant Andrew C. Havco. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential to serve in a higher grade, Second Lieutenant Andrew C. Havco is promoted to the permanent grade of First Lieutenant, United States Air Force, effective 1 June 2008, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force.
Okay, Andrew, I know you've got a couple of folks that you'd like to have come forward and pin on that silver bar for you. Would that be?
Sir?
It'll be my two brothers, Specialist McConaughey,
Seated, everybody.
and AM2 Self.
Lieutenant's got quite a tradition of military in his family, and actually these two gentlemen here, upon completing pinning him on, are going to render him his first salute as being first lieutenant. Taking notes. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to administer the oath of office to our new first lieutenant. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Andrew Christopher Hapko,
Having been appointed a first lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed a First Lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I take this obligation freely,
and that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. First Lieutenant Hapko, the floor is yours.
And I'd like to thank you all for coming out today. I was kind of wondering if Adam or Mark would go down and try to have a race to see who could get on faster. I know they made it out to the River Dog game last night, and they were telling me I owe them both a beer because, unfortunately, the Air Force lost the tug of war. So, I think Mark said he won with the right side. And I'd also like to thank all my family for coming out and supporting me. First and foremost, my mom, Christine. She's been a big part of my life, as has my father, Homer. Here he goes by Andrew. And I got all right, cool. And for the rest of my family, Tracy, Kimberly, Adam, Mark, and Little Connie, they've been there throughout my whole life. And my Air Force career, I started out at the Air Force Academy as Major Peter said. And shortly after I got there, Tracy actually moved out to Colorado, a couple hours south of there, was working at Salida, and she kind of gave me that extra home away from home. About every other weekend, she would come up and visit and bring me beef jerky. But it was nice homemade beef jerky, so it was a comfort while at the academy during the freshman year. And Kimberly and Mark, they were at my academy graduation. Mark was my very first salute as an officer. So just all my family has been special in my career. And to the LRS, just want to thank you guys. When I first got here in August, it made me feel right at home right away. I was coming out of a unit I didn't really feel like I was part of down in Florida. And a lot of people were focused on what they were doing down there, trying to get through flight school. There wasn't a whole lot of camaraderie. When I came to the LRS, you guys welcomed me with open arms, and that was just awesome for me. I just want to thank you all for welcoming me in. material management flight is where I started out, and now I'm vehicle operations flight, and just really feel at home. So thank you all. To everyone else, my port dogs over there, and to the rest of the wing and other guests, just thank you for sharing this day with me.